Hello friends, good afternoon. I, Dr. Foram M. Joshi from Patel College of Engineering and Technology. I am here with the GTU question paper with solution. We will discuss the question paper from winter 2013 exam. Right? We will discuss the question paper of physics, and you can see that there is question 1 which comprises of A and B part, which has 7 questions in each, and each of the question has 7 parts, 4 options, and one of the option you will have to choose. Okay, so question 1 A1 was, according to Newton's second law of motion, acceleration is proportional to force. That means a larger force A, B, C, D produce acceleration. Second, doesn't affect acceleration. C produces a smaller mass, and third, D, that is produces a larger acceleration. So what do you think? What should be the reason? What should be the answer here? The answer is D. It produces a larger acceleration. Larger force produces a larger acceleration because F is equal to ma. Now the second question, that is, the weight of the body is due to gravitational pull exerted by the earth, or forces experienced by body in atmosphere, or force of attraction experienced by particles, or gravitational force of attraction towards the center of the earth. What should be the answer, friends? It should be what? The answer is D, gravitational force of attraction towards the center of the earth. Okay, now the third question is, which of the following is a vector quantity? Energy, mass, momentum, or speed? Energy is not a vector quantity. Mass, but obviously it is not a vector quantity, it is a scalar quantity. Speed and velocity. Velocity has direction, so velocity is a vector quantity, but speed, it's not a vector quantity. So C, momentum, is the vector quantity here. The right answer is momentum. Fourth one, a force is completely defined when we specify A, magnitude, B, direction, C, point of application, or D, all of the above. What are the quantities which is required to define the force? Magnitude, direction, and point of application. All the 3 quantities are required, so answer is D, all of the above. 5. Henry is the unit of, it's a very simple question, inductance, because capacitance, no, electrical energy, no, and power, no. Power's unit is watt, right? Inductance is the right answer. Next is Fleming's left hand rule is used to find out what? First, direction of magnetic field due to current carrying conductor, direction of a flux in a solenoid, C, direction of force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, or D, polarity of a magnetic pole. The right answer is direction of force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. 7th one, the question says that temporary magnets are used in which device? Loudspeakers, generators, motors, or all of the above? The answer is loudspeakers. They generate, in the loudspeakers, they generate the temporary magnet in order to amplify the voice. The B of the question 1. First, which of the following represents the schematic symbol of a Zener diode? You can see there are 4 options. First, A, B, C, and D. What is the answer, friends? Can you guess? The answer is C, is the Zener diode symbol with a small z embedded in the symbol itself. The A option is the symbol of diode, B option is the symbol of LED, and D is the symbol of varictor diode, right? Question 2, which physical parameter is measured by voltmeter? A, current, B, voltage, C, resistance, D, potential difference. Basically, voltmeter measures potential difference, but if you write B, then even that is also an appropriate answer. But the small d, the D option, potential difference, is the most appropriate answer for this question. Okay. 3. The unit of inductance is ohm, mho, farad or Henry. Okay, this is a very simple question. Henry is the unit of inductance. Question 4. Calculate the effective resistance from the following combination. You can see that there is a circuit given, a battery, power supply, then 7 ohm resistance, then 5 ohm resistance and then 2 ohm resistance. You can calculate with series parallel combinations of the resistance, and that equation, the right answer is A, 1.2 ohm. That is the effective resistance for this combination. 5. Oil has a smaller density than water. Therefore, an object that will float in oil will either float in water with more of the object submerged, or float in water with the same amount of the object submerged, or float in water with less of the object submerged, or not float in water. What should be the answer? The answer is float in water with less of the object submerged. The reason is, it is in the next question. An object can float provided it is gap of the fluid, whether the mass is less than the mass, or the mass is greater than the density, or the density is less than the density, or the density is less than mass. The answer is, an object can float provided its density is less than the density of the fluid. 7th one, liquids transmit pressure equally in all the directions. This is according to which rule? A. Boyle's law, B. Archimedes principle, C. Pascal's law, or D. Newton's formula. What should be the answer, friends? It is the 14th questions in the MCQ series, last one. The answer is Pascal's law. Due to Pascal's law, liquids transmit pressure equally in all directions. Now we'll move to the B part of the question paper. In A part, question 1 was compulsory. In the B part, from question 2 to 7, any 4 of you will have to attend, right? So making that 14 5s are 70 marks paper. Now we will move to the question 2. Question 2 has A, and in A, question number 1, what are the dielectric materials? Distinguish between a dielectric material and an insulator. Again, what are the different types of dielectric materials? Explain them in detail. Now, can you tell me what should be the answer? The dielectric materials, they are actually basically the materials which are used as an insulator, as well as they can be used in capacitors, they can be used in transformers, right? So one has to write down the dielectric materials definition. Then one has to write down what is the difference between an insulator and a dielectric material. Both carries 1 mark, and then in 2 marks one has to write down the different types of dielectric materials, right? So in detail one has to explain them. Then one can get the 4 marks. Question number 2, describe the possible mechanism of polarization in dielectric material. What should be the answer, friends? There are actually 4 types of polarization mechanism. First is electronic polarization, second atomic polarization, then the third one is the spatial polarization, and fourth one, it is the ionic polarization in ionic materials. So one has to write down all the 3 in detail, and the fourth one, spatial polarization, it can be only mentioned there. B of 1, describe any 2 uses of dielectric material in detail. As we had discussed, first one, in the first question, that it is there are 2 major uses. They are used in capacitors, they are used in transformers. Apart from that, dielectric material have vast uses, vast range of applications. We have to write down any 2 uses in details. This question carries 2 marks, so if you write down only 1 in detail, then you will lose your 1 mark. Question number 2, what are the shape memory alloys? Give some of its applications. Shape memory alloys, they are actually alloys which can memorize their shape even after the pressure is removed or the pressure is applied. In second condition, if the temperature is rising or temperature is going down, they can be deformed, and after deformation, if we increase the temperature, they will remember their original shape and they will regain their original shapes. So these are called shape memory alloys. Their applications are several. Their applications are in very vast fields, including engineering, including material science, in some of the in some of the fields where medical technology is involved. So one can write down the application, list down the application for these 2 mark questions. Now next one is calculate the electronic polarizability of an isolated Se atom. The atomic radius of Se atom is 0.12 nanometer. Given that epsilon 0, the dielectric permittivity, is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. So we will move to the paper for this. We are given the data that we will have to find out alpha E of the Se atom. The radius is given as 0.12 nanometer, right? That means 0.12 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. Okay, and we are also given epsilon 0 value, that is epsilon 0 is equal to 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. Okay, so what should be the formula for alpha E, friends? Alpha E is equal to 4 pi epsilon 0 r cube. Okay, this means 4 pi is 3.14 into epsilon 0 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 into 0.12 into 10 raised to minus 9 the whole cube, right? So the answer is, with the multiplication we can get, that is 2.17 into 10 raised to minus 41 force into meter square. Okay, so this is the answer. This is the right solution of the given example of 3 marks. Now moving ahead, question number 3.1, that is define magnetic materials, classify diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic materials in detail, giving their differences. Here you will have to define the magnetic materials with the proper definition that the material which can magnetize or demagnetize, those are the magnetic materials. One has to classify them. There are actually major classification in 3 parts. First is diamagnetic, another is paramagnetic, and third one is ferromagnetic materials. And the difference is we have to write down for 3 marks, because magnetic materials has the definition of magnetic material carries 1 mark, and another 3 marks they are for the differences of these 3 parts, right? So moving ahead, question number 3b, 3a2, define and describe magnetic dipole moment and magnetic susceptibility. One has to define all the three quantities very clearly here, because each of one carries 1 mark. What do you mean by magnetic dipole? It is the combination of north and south pole separated by magnetic north and south pole separated by a certain distance. That is the magnetic dipole. Magnetic dipole moment, that means it is if north and south pole are separated by a certain distance r, then magnetic dipole moment can be defined as mu r. And magnetic susceptibility, that is actually chi, it is the symbol is chi, and it can be defined as the ratio of the given magnetic field to the magnetization to the given magnetic field, right? So one has to define it very clearly. Then question number 3b1, define and distinguish between hard and soft magnetic materials. What is the difference between hard and soft magnetic materials? There are major actually 5 or 6 differences, but if you write down 4 points for this, then you will be able to get 2 marks for this. The major difference is soft magnetic materials, they can be magnetized and demagnetized easily, while hard magnetic materials, they cannot be magnetized or demagnetized easily. Soft magnetic material, they have less hysteresis loss, and hard magnetic material, they have very large hysteresis loss. You can even draw the hysteresis loop of soft and hard magnetic materials as a difference between them. Actually, in the soft magnetic side, if you draw the hysteresis loop, that is a BH curve, then it will be very thin curve that you can draw, and in the hard magnetic material it will be a very large curve. For soft magnetic materials, the retentivity and the coercivity are very less, while the hard magnetic material, retentivity and coercivity both are very high. So fifth difference you can write down as that the retentivity, the product of retentivity and coercivity, that is the power value for soft magnetic material is less. For hard magnetic material, the power value is high. So you can also write down as a difference their applications, that soft magnetic materials can be used for the different applications where no much magnetization is required, and hard magnetic materials, they can be used where permanent magnets are required. Next one, what are the properties of metallic glasses? Mention some important applications. This question carries 2 marks, so you will have to write down 2 properties of metallic glasses, such as they have high ductility, they have higher hardness, they are shiny, they are amorphous in structure. Those are the properties of metallic glasses, which carries from both the sides, from metals and glasses. And what are the applications? You will have to write down at least 2 applications. That is, you will have to mention some so you can mention some very important applications in such a way that they can be used in ornaments, they can be used as biomaterials, also they can be used in transformers, right? So these are some applications. The third one, what are ferrites? Give properties and uses of ferrites. This question carries 3 marks, friends. So one has to write down the definition of ferrites. Those are ferrimagnetic materials, and they carry a permanent dipole moment, but they do not have their dipole magnitudes in opposite sides, but they are their magnitudes are different. So the ferrites are the